Now, with these standards, you would want to ask yourself, where am I at the moment? Do I fit in for a Power 5 school? Do I fit in for a junior college? Do I fit in for a D1? Do I fit in for a D2? Do I fit in for NAIA? Do I fit in for junior college? Hello, beautiful people. How are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Star Mpama. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you. And if you're just coming across my page for the first time, please do well to subscribe, like, and share. Or better still, like, subscribe, share, whichever way you want it. So today, I would be throwing more light on standards that you as an athlete should consider attaining when looking out for schools here in the United States. In my last video, I talked about how coaches reach out to athletes and how athletes also would reach out to coaches as an international student who intends to come into the United States on a fully funded scholarship. And I'll do well to drop the link of that video in the description box. Today, I would want to be discussing standard coaches look for when recruiting international students for track and field scholarship here in the United States. Before I dive into the standards, I would want to cover different categories for schools. Now, we have the NCAA Division 1. The NCAA simply means National College Athletics Association. We have the NCAA Division 2. We have the NAIA, which is the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. We have the NJCAA, which is the National Junior College Athletics Association. And under the NJCAA, we have Division 1 and Division 2. Also, the NCAA has Division 3. They only offer academic scholarship. Moving forward, we have something called Power 5 schools. Power 5 schools are within the NCAA division, and the Power 5 schools, they offer fully funded scholarships. They offer ultimate fee. The ultimate fee is an academic dependent funds. This money is being given to you after an academic year is over and you have met up with the academic standard required of you as the student. They also offer summer season stipends, flight tickets, and also cost of attendance. These are privileges you get for an athlete who is in a Power 5 school. Example of Power 5 schools, we have University of Oregon, we have University of Southern California, we have University of Texas, we have Louisiana State University, we have University of Alabama, we have University of Florida, but this is just a few out of the many out there. Now, under NCAA Division 1, there are other schools called standard schools. Standard schools varies, and also the ways which they give out their scholarship differs. For standard schools, they give out stipends, which varies. Some cover flight tickets, some provide housing and feeding allowances, some provide ultimate fee, some also provide cost of attendance. Now, breaking down stipends, I know I mentioned that in the Power 5 schools, they provide stipends. There's a rule in the NCAA. As a freshman, you are not allowed to leave off campus on arrival. You are only allowed to start leaving off campus from your sophomore year. Now, the amazing thing about Power 5 schools is that while you're on campus as a freshman, you would still get stipends. That's the amazing thing about Power 5 schools. Now, some standard schools exceptionally gives you stipends even when you are living on campus. Some, but others, you don't get anything until you have moved off campus fully. Now, for the NCAA Division 2 schools, there are no stipends. Yes, some schools would offer you housing and feeding allowances. That is, if they make provision for you to leave off campus after your freshman year. Now, we have the JUCOs and the NAIA schools. Now, for the JUCOs, there are no stipends. For NAIA schools, some schools still offer stipends and some don't. It just depends. So you want to make sure that you understand all of this. You understand the category of the school which you are going to. That will help you determine where you fit in as a student athlete. Now, I would want out times and standard that most schools tend to look out for when recruiting an athlete. First thing first, I would start with track. So for the 100 meters, for the females, most schools will be looking out for 11.05 seconds. Now, these 11.05 seconds are mostly for standard schools, but average timing is going to be 11.65, and for the male would be 10.3. Now, in the 200 meters, for the female would be 24.00, and for the male would be 20.80. But on the male side, the 20.80 literally would be for Power 5 schools. For regular schools, you want to make sure you're in the range of 21.3, 21.2 seconds. Now, in the 400 meters, we have 55.00 for average schools. For Power 5 schools, you're looking at 53.00, 52.00. And for the male, it is 46.80. Now, if you're looking to go into just a regular school, you should be considering 47.0 at most, because nowadays, the 400 meters it's just going and it's going. So for the 800 meters, for the female, you're looking at 2 minutes 14 seconds. This is just for average schools. For Power 5 schools, you're looking at 2 minutes 06 seconds. 2 minutes 04 seconds. These are numbers that would be considered. 2 minutes 08 seconds. These are numbers that will be considered for Power 5 schools. Now, for the male section, we have 1 minute 49. This would be considered for average schools. But looking at for Power 5 schools, you want to look at 1 minute 45 seconds. You want to look at 1 minute 46 seconds, 1 minute 47 seconds. With these times, you would be able to get yourself into a Power 5 school. Now, for the 1500, for the female, we have 4 minutes 40 seconds, and for the male would be 3 minutes 48 seconds. Now, the 3000 meters would be 10 minutes 10 seconds for the females and 8 minutes 15 seconds for the male. 5000 meters would be 17 minutes 30 seconds for the female and 14 minutes 15 seconds for the male. 10,000 meters would be 37 minutes on the dot for the female and 30 minutes on the dot for the male. Now, for the hurdles, 100-meter hurdles, we have 13.8 seconds for the female. Now, 13.8 seconds for the female would be for standard schools. When you're looking out for Power 5 schools, you want to be sure you're running 13.2 seconds, 13.3 seconds, 12.9, that would be fine. Now, for the 110 hurdle, we have 14.00 seconds. Now, these are for standard schools. Considering going into a Power 5 school, you want to be doing a 13 low, which is 13.13, 13.14, 13.0. Now, for the 400-meter hurdles, 61.6100 seconds. So that is 1 minute 0.1 seconds. But now, like I said, this is for standard schools. For Power 5 schools, you want to be looking at 55 seconds, 57 seconds, 56 seconds, right? For Power 5 schools to get into a Power 5 school. Now, for the male would be 51.00. Now, this 51.00 can get you into a standard school. But looking out for Power 5 schools, you want to be in the range of 50, you want to be in the range of 49 seconds. Now, for 2,000 meter steeplechase, we have 7 minutes 10 seconds for the female and 5 minutes 50 seconds for the male. And 3,000 meter steeplechase would be 11 minutes on the dot, and for the male would be 8 minutes 55 seconds. Now, moving over to field events. For long jump, female, we're looking at 6.10 meters, and for the male will be 7.70 meters. Now, for triple jump, we have 12.50 meters, and for the male, we have 15.70 meters. High jump would be 1.80 meters, and for the female, and for the male would be 2.18 meters. Now, for pole vaults would be 4.10 meters for the female and 5.30 meters for the male. Shot put would be 15 meters on the dot for the female, and for the male would be 18.50 meters on the dots for the male. For the discus throwers, would be 52 meters for the female and 57 meters for the male. For hammer throwers, would be 56 meters for the female and 65 meters for the male. For javelin throwers, would be 54 meters for the female and 73 meters for the male. Heptathlon female would be 5,000 points and decathlon male would be 7,500 points. Now, mind you, these standards that I have mentioned, like I said earlier, varies, and varies in the sense of age, varies in the sense of the school you're headed, and varies in the sense of the coach and the standard that particular school is looking for whenever they are recruiting their athletes. Now, with these standards, you would want to ask yourself, where am I at the moment? Do I fit in for a Power 5 school? Do I fit in for a junior college? Do I fit in for a D1? Do I fit in for a D2? Do I fit in for NAIA? Do I fit in for junior college? It just depends. You want to be sure where you are. And don't forget, age is a factor you want to put into consideration when putting all of these standards and category into consideration. I hope this information has been valuable to you considering coming over to the United States as an international student. Like I mentioned earlier, the description box below is the link to the video that explains how coaches reaches out to athletes and how athletes can reach out to coaches as an international student. And looking at these standards, it would help you shaping what you're looking out for. If you need to quicken your times or better your distance, then please do that. If you feel you have the times and you're within the age range and age limit, go ahead and shoot your shots. And I know that there are coaches looking out for international talented students as yourself. So do what you need to do. Make haste while the sun still shines. I would be here to put out more information on how to get to the United States as an international student athlete. But until we meet again, I still remain your girl, Star Mpama. Please do well to like, share, and subscribe. Put on your notification button for more information as I put out more information every other week here in my channel. Until we meet again, be good, stay safe, and bye for now.